Hello and welcome to CEN 4801. This session will address the implementation phase, which is the last phase of system design and development. The primary emphasis of systems implementation is to make sure that the right information is delivered to the right person in the right format at the right time. The team will identify the purpose of the implementation and discuss the various activities associated with this phase of system development. This slide shows the typical steps in systems implementation phase, and we will address each one separately. Acquiring the hardware will be from an approved vendor. When we say an approved vendor, that means a company that offers hardware, software, telecommunications systems, database systems, information systems, personnel, and other computer related resources. The company will have several options to select from. The company could buy computer hardware, they could lease the hardware, or they could pay on demand, especially with the current cloud computing and Amazon services. And I think you heard about Amazon services where you can pay for a server online with them. So basically, the hardware is on the cloud. The hardware, the software, all the information will be on the cloud, and you will be paying for these services with Amazon and with other companies the same that who provide the same services. One of the decisions that need to be made is the make or buy decision for acquiring software. It's a decision regarding whether to obtain the software from external or internal resource. Um, the choices will include purchase software externally or develop software in-house. When we say develop software in-house, that means we have to make sure that we have the proper resources and skills for the software development. And we can use a blend of external and internal software development. We can also rent the software. Acquiring the databases and telecommunications system require a blend of hardware and software to support them. The new hardware is acquired from an information system vendor, so they will know what will be the requirements to support databases and to support the telecommunication system that will be in place in the company. A new or upgraded software might be purchased or developed also in-house to support the database or communication. We could build our own database. And again, to do that, we need to have the proper skills and the proper resources in-house to be able to do that. The third step of the implementation phase is the process of preparing managers, decision makers, employees, other users, and stakeholders for the new systems. This means providing the people element of the system with the proper training. And don't forget that the people is one of the elements in the system. So we need to include that within the system, and we need to inform them, let them know, and train them on how to use that system. The new system might need new personnel with new skills to operate or to manage. So we need to hire and train the people that will be the people who will be in place. So a hiring and training process will be put in place for these new hires. The personnel that might be needed for the new system, we could need a manager, system analyst, computer programmers, data entry operators, who will need to work with the system. And again, training programs should be developed and conducted for the new information system which has been developed or which was developed. Part of the implementation is to prepare the location of the new system. We need to make sure that we have the room for the new equipment, the new hardware. We need to make sure that we have room for the new hire employees to work on that system. The site should be prepared for any special wiring and air conditioning if needed. And again, if we have the hardware and we have servers in place, then they have to be in a specific room, and that room has to be air conditioned differently than other parts of the building or the facility. The wiring that will be needed to support that one. What kind of backup system for the power should be in place. The site should also be prepared for special flooring, security system, whether it's physical security or logical security, and any additional power circuits that need to support. If I have a circuit breaker that will not be able to support, then it has to be updated or upgraded to support the new equipment or the new system. When developing a new system, there might be a need to convert existing data to be integrated, migrated, or stored in the new system. So we need to ensure that all files and databases are ready to be used with the new system, the new computer software and system software. A backup has to be in place in case integration did not work or got delayed. At least we can bring the old system online, so it should be working. The old system should be working until the new system is in place and stable to use. Another step of the implementation is installation, which physically placing the equipment on the site and making it operational. Normally, the manufacturer is responsible for installing this equipment, and they will be supervised or overseen by the IS or IT manager of the company to make sure that equipment are installed according to organizational requirements. If the manufacturer installation was not included, the IT department will create a project to install and configure the equipment according to requirements. Once everything installed, a testing has to be performed, which includes testing of the individual components and testing the entire installed system. The system will be also tested for integration and compatibility to make sure that system components are working together in harmony. The system will be also tested with large amount of data to ensure the capability of processing, retrieving, and storing data. Users will be selected to perform the last test of usability, accessibility, and availability. This will be the final test, which will be used to accept the system and sign on for fund release to vendor. To move from the old system to the new system, there are many approaches that can be followed. We can use direct conversion, which is just plunge and direct cut over to the old system and moving to the new system. So basically we are stopping the old system and starting the new system, the new one on a given date. Now there is a risk using this approach. So if the new system did not work, the old system has to be brought back online immediately until the bugs of the new system is fixed. And that could cause delays, loss of information, and loss in profit. So we have to be careful when implementing that approach. We can use phase-in approach, slowly replacing all system components with new system components, which this is considered as a good approach. And if a component phase or a component system component did not work, it will be easy to bring back the old component instead of bringing the whole system online. In addition, it will be easy to fix and debug the one component rather than debugging the whole system. The third approach is the pilot startup approach, which is running the new system with one group of users. Could be one unit, could be a department, could be a group of mixed users from many departments. That will be based on the decision of the management within the company. This approach is also a good approach where other units are still operational until we make sure that the system is working fine for all units. Just make sure not to start with the payroll department because that will stop the payroll until everything is up and running again. People will not be happy if you did not pay them by the end of the period every time or every month or every 2 weeks. So be careful which unit to choose. Another approach that has been used by many companies recently is using the parallel startup approach, which is running the old and new systems together for a period of time, then phasing out the old while phasing in the new. This will be expensive, of course, because you will have a place for the old, place for the new one. So you have to um, uh, have the resources, facility, people, other things that will be running at the same time on parallel, and you have to make sure that the phase in, phase out approach will work without any interruptions. As I said in the previous slide, we can cap all testing with user acceptance testing. That will be associated with user acceptance document. The user acceptance document is a formal agreement signed by the user that states that a phase of the installation or the complete system is installed, operational and approved. So we could uh, uh, divide it into pieces and give that user acceptance for just a phase, or we can wait until the whole system is installed, operational and approved, and then we can provide that document. Basically is just a legal document that removes or reduces the information system vendor's liability. Systems operation will be including training for the use of the new system. In addition, a help desk should be available to provide all the support needed for operations of the new system. The vendor and other internal resources will be used for systems maintenance, checking, changing, and enhancing the system to make sure or to make it more useful in achieving user and organizational goal. The older the system, the higher the cost of keeping it running. This is something that everybody knows. Once it gets old, more maintenance needed, more downtime. So we have to make sure that we are maintaining the system properly. Maintaining the system could consume large amount of resources and could cost a lot of the system um, uh, could cost a lot. So if the system was developed and designed internally, some of the methods, techniques, and tools used during the design can be used to maintain the system. But if the system was developed by a vendor, it's good to have some kind of maintenance agreement in place to support systems operations. Maintenance could be corrective, adaptive, perfective, preventive, and could be for liability and accountability issues. And those are some of the scenarios. If systems and software maintenance has to be performed to repair existing faults or to fix major system problem, then we call that as corrective. Um, any problems that will be ignored might create a major issue later on, so we need to do that maintenance, and that's why it has to be performed, and that is corrective. So we will not reach to the major issue point where the system will break down and it will be hard to maintain or very costly to maintain. Performing maintenance that is required to make sure that the system is adapting to any new changes such as new software or hardware upgrades or work patterns, then we consider that as adaptive. Maintenance process that can be used to fine tune the performance, ability, functionality, and usability of the system, then it's perfective. We are looking to perfect or increase the efficiency of the system. The preventive maintenance is essentially to it's a preemptive strike against problems. So we are trying to prevent anything from happening before it happens. Maintenance will not only provide competitive advantage but also keep the system within the latest legal norms and requirements and government rules, and that will protect the company from the liability and accountability side. Of course, if for example, if you are an insurance company for patients for healthcare, then you have to make sure that you have the latest information system that is protected for identity from identity theft or fraud or any breaches of the system that will create a problem with the data, patient data that is in the system. Maintenance activities involve systems or component testing. We can test the whole system, component testing, to detect problems and fixing them without disturbing the rest of the system. We are trying mainly to make those preventive or those corrective actions when they happen, so we will not reach to a point where the system will be disrupted and will be stopped and we will not be operational. That is a problem. That's a major problem. So we don't want to reach to that point. That's why we are doing these maintenance activities. Although the system has been installed and operational, a continuous analysis of the system should be in place to make sure that it operates as intended. Process of improvement and quality control. We can do that through comparing the performance and benefits of the system as it was designed with the actual performance and benefits of the system in operation. We can do reviews triggered by a problem or opportunity, and those are called event-driven reviews, such as errors, corporate merger, or new market for products. Or we can perform reviews after a specific amount of time, could be cyclical, every year, every quarter, every month, which is called time-driven reviews. This table or the table on this slide shows some of the examples under both reviews. So you can see that what is considered as event driven and what's considered as time driven. With this example, with this table, we will end this session. So that will be all for this session, and that will be all for system design and development. If you have any questions, you can email, call, Skype, or come in person, and I will be more than glad to assist you with the material. Have a great day.